everyone, and welcome to John Talks Indian Cinema. I am your host, the Indian Cine-MANIAC, back with another 10 to 25-ish minute review. Actually, this one's probably going to be about 10 minutes. And once again, I want to thank all you over 1,500 subscribers. 2,000's a stretch goal, and I know with your help, we can build a Maniac community. Okay. So why is this going to be a 10-ish-minute review? The film I'm going to review, and here's the deal. I watched this a while ago, and I'm only getting in the review now because, frankly, I wasn't too crazy about this film, and I really didn't want to do the review. So I'm probably going to forget stuff from the movie, so you'll have to forgive me. But the film is 2025's Sikandar, starring Salman Khan, who I am a huge fan of. I have seen a lot of his films, and I've liked them in just about all of them. Also, Kishore Kumar, Sharman Joshi, who was in Three Idiots, Wrong Day, Basanti, and Golmal, Fun Unlimited, which I hated. Kishore was in Jailer, L2 Emperon. And Rashika Mandanna, who was in Animal, Pushpa the Rise, and Sita Raman, who gets trashed in the reviews. This was, in my research, the weakest performing film of Salman Khan. And part of the complaint was there was a 31-year-old difference between he and Rashika, who played his wife. And here's how you know things aren't right in a Salman Khan film. At no point does he remove his shirt. And that's got to tell you something. So the story is about a king who is a good guy, and the people love him. And through circumstances, he ends up beating up a politician's son, which leads to all this awful stuff happening. And then it turns into this thing about harvesting organs and taking care of kids who are sick at hospitals. Now, I know that Salman Khan is quite the he gives a lot of money to causes, and that stuff is really important to him, and that is a big message in this film. So I get that. I just don't think it's a very good film. I don't think he's very good in it. He looks a little overweight. It's the first time I thought he looked a little bit old. Now, he's not a young guy, but he looked a little old, and he was moving a little slow. In fact, there's a scene where, you know, in all the Ajay Devgan movies, when he's getting out of a car, it's always in slow motion, and the camera pulls back, and in the car, you know, the door opens, and he gets out while the car is still moving. Well, they do that in this film, but you never see him. All you see are his feet, and then all of a sudden he's standing there. Stuff like that. A lot of the fight scenes, slow-mo, you know. Now, he's still got a presence. There's no doubt about that. But let me see what else goes on. It opens with it defines a king as how many hearts he's won. And his character has won a lot. Sanjay Rajkot. Actually, they call him like 4 different names in this film. He lives in this beautiful palace, an absolutely gorgeous setting. I don't know where it was, but it was amazing. And they did have one scene where they go to arrest him, and thousands of people are outside the palace. And big group scene, you know, and the cops like, well, we can't do this. There's too many people there. I'm trying to think. Oh, his wife gets pregnant. Then there's this big fight in a quarry. And she ends up getting, well, I'm going to spoil it. You know, it's a new film, but it was terrible. So I wouldn't even recommend seeing it. But she gets killed by shrapnel. And she fights on. And then ends up dying. So that's how her organs get donated. And then it's a matter of who gets her organs, eyes, lungs, and there was something else. I can't remember what the other thing was. Because the bad guys who killed her want to track down the people who have the organs and kill them. So he's going to go after them. Yeah. And there's only one really funny thing. There's a taxi driver he meets when he goes in Mumbai, and I would say it's the only real comic relief in the whole film. They also, you know, he when he goes to Mumbai, he meets a bunch of kids who are poor, and they live in this area where there's a giant dump next to it, and the stuff continues to be dumped, and he's aghast by this, so he works a way out to buy the land and get rid of the dump. And there was another thing that I really liked. So I recently watched The War with Amitabh Bachchan, and in this film, there's a reference to The War that I got because I'd recently seen the movie, and it's about not taking money that's he will only take money that's handed to him, not money that's put down and you take it. You got to hand it to him. So I like that reference. The woman who did get her eyes is absolutely gorgeous. Really, oh, heart. A heart was the organ. The woman who got the heart. The one big action scene. There's a car chase through Mumbai that was actually pretty good. Um, One of the bad guys gets killed throwing a Molotov cocktail that goes back to him. He gets fried. He imagines his wife throughout the movie after she dies in his head. There's a bad cop that he confronts. Um, the boy with her lungs, at one point he's starting to cough and he really overdoes it. Very dramatic, a little too dramatic. And the climax is a big fight. There's a big fight outside the hospital, right? Now he's got these bodyguards, but any fight he was in, it was always just him. But he's got these bodyguards, and they finally get to fight in this big climactic scene with all the bad guys, and they end up getting beat right away. And then Khan shows up and turns it around. And I'm like, those poor bastards, man. Give me a break. And then at the end, he gets arrested, and there's a giant mob outside, like thousands. And that's kind of where it ended. Look, the story, it was a two. It was a two. The performances, I got to tell you, I was very disappointed in this film. I gave the performances a two. Um, I thought it was almost, how do I describe this? He almost looked a little tired. And that's not something you see in a Salman Khan film. Even the cameos he makes, like in Jawan that he made, I really like that. And I like Tiger 3. But this was, I don't know, I was very disappointed. Now, the music, and there's a lot of music. The first song is Look What You're Facing, which was an all right song. The second song was a big number. And it was a song about, it was at their anniversary, and it's about the big ass queen. And that was a big number. I really liked that. Well done. And the third song was during a fight scene. The fourth song was very sad because he is in the hospital. She's dead in the bed, but he also finds out she was pregnant because he didn't know that. He didn't know she was pregnant because she hadn't told him before she died. So very sad song. And, he played that. I thought he played that pretty emotionally. Fifth song, they're in a village celebrating the cleanup. And the thing about the scene was visually, he's wearing red and everyone else is wearing white. And it was Bam Bam Boleh Shampoo. I think that was the name of the song. And the girl with his eyes, with his wife's eyes, dances away with him. So that was a cute number. I like that. Sixth song was during the climax, during the hospital scene, where he's beating everybody up. And the final song was during the credits. And it's called the Sikandar Dances. Sikandar Dances. And it was fine. I mean, the music, the music was a 3. But I got to tell you, and I haven't had this reaction to a film in a long time, but my verdict for this film, it was a 2. It just wasn't very good, and I was disappointed. I understand why this movie didn't do too well. It really didn't. It wasn't one of his best, and I hope I'm sure he will. He'll come back with something better, I'm sure. But this wasn't it. One man's opinion, okay? No recommendations for this one. I wanted to keep it short because I was so depressed after I watched it. Because again, I'm a big Salman Khan fan. Okay, I want to make that clear. I am. So that's it. So listen, again, the goal is 2,000. So you know what that means. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit the notification button, hit the like button, and please share the videos. That's how we built the community in the first place. The other thing is, throw a comment in the comment section. It doesn't have to be long-winded. It can be, hi, bro. It can be, hi, John. It can be, you should be watching this, or you're crazy. That movie was great. I don't care, but it makes a difference. Don't ask me why. I don't know, but it does. So please comment, like, do all the stuff you need to do. All right. I'm telling you, we're going to build this community. It's going to get bigger and bigger, and this thing's going to explode. There are a lot of people in India, a lot. If we can share, if you each of you share it with one person, we just double the size. Okay, that's quick math. That's, I'm like Rain Man. Thank you. Definitely going to double the size. Definitely going to double the size. All right. That's it. Short and sweet. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon on John Talks Indian Cinema.